Many anglers complain about slow spring fishing. They switch baits, experiment with different ground bait mixes, and blame the weather or changing barometric pressure. But sometimes the real reason is something completely different, and most anglers never even think about it. Believe it or not, your fishing line could be the problem. After the ice melts, lakes and ponds often become cloudy with clay, silt, and decaying vegetation from the previous season. In these conditions, fish see the underwater world very differently than we imagine. That's where one of the biggest myths in fishing starts to fall apart. For years, anglers believed that clear fishing line was practically invisible underwater. That may have sounded logical, but modern fishing lines and real spring water conditions tell a very different story. Think of a fiber optic cable that carries light. A clear monofilament line can behave in a surprisingly similar way underwater. Instead of disappearing into cloudy water, it can collect and reflect scattered light, making the line appear like a thin glowing strand. Cautious fish notice details like this much faster than many anglers realize. Rather than seeing a natural presentation, they spot something unusual near the bait and quietly swim away. And that's only the beginning. In a moment, we'll look at which line colors actually blend into stained water, and which ones can make your rig stand out even more. To a fish, that glowing strand doesn't look like ordinary fishing line. It appears to be an unfamiliar object that doesn't belong, making even feeding fish hesitate. Meanwhile, another angler nearby keeps catching fish one after another. Why does this happen? The answer lies in the water itself. Cloudy spring water isn't simply darker, it contains countless microscopic particles of clay, silt, and organic matter that scatter sunlight in every direction like thousands of tiny mirrors. Against that background, anything that reflects light differently becomes much easier to detect. Ironically, the murkier the water, the greater the chance that a clear monofilament line will reveal your presentation instead of hiding it. And when it comes to line color, things become even more interesting. Most anglers assume that bright-colored line is always a mistake, but the truth isn't nearly that simple. Most of us learn in school that sunlight is made up of different colors, and underwater each one behaves differently. Red, orange, and yellow wavelengths disappear much faster than others, especially in stained or muddy water. That's why a red fishing line, which looks incredibly bright in a tackle shop, quickly loses its color once submerged. To fish, it often appears dark and low contrast, blending into the background instead of reflecting light. Many anglers avoid red lines simply because of how it looks on the spool, without realizing how differently it behaves underwater. Red isn't the only color worth considering. Olive, dark green, and moss-colored lines can also perform extremely well in cloudy spring water. These shades naturally match the color of algae, silt, and underwater vegetation, helping the line blend into its surroundings instead of standing out. That's one of the reasons many experienced anglers choose these colors during the spring season when visibility underwater is poor. Fluorocarbon is a little more complicated. Many anglers believe it's completely invisible, but that's not entirely true. In clear water, fluorocarbon is excellent at staying out of sight. In heavily stained water, however, it can still be detected, just much less than standard monofilament. If you're fishing with a spinning rod, though, a quality fluorocarbon leader is still one of the best options for presenting your lure naturally. On the other hand, there are line colors I would avoid in muddy water altogether. Bright white and fluorescent yellow become highly visible underwater and often create an unnatural contrast, especially on sunny days. Fish can become much more cautious when they notice something that doesn't belong. There are exceptions, of course. A high-visibility braided main line is extremely useful for anglers because it makes it easier to watch the line and detect subtle strikes. The key is using a long fluorocarbon or camouflage-colored leader between the braid and your lure. Now imagine a typical spring morning after a heavy rain. The pond is muddy, you're setting up a float rig for crappie or bluegill, and you spool on a brand new clear monofilament, convinced you've made the perfect choice. But that simple decision could be the reason you get far fewer bites than expected, and next we'll see exactly why that happens in real fishing conditions. You've probably experienced this more than once. You cast your rig, wait patiently, and nothing happens. Meanwhile, the angler a few yards away keeps landing fish one after another. It looks like they're using some secret bait or magic lure, but sometimes the real difference is much simpler. Take a closer look and you may notice one small detail: they're using a dark brown fishing line that closely matches the color of the bottom and the stained water. While your clear monofilament reflects scattered light and makes the rig easier to detect, their line blends into the surroundings. As a result, the fish focuses on the bait instead of the line. Small details like this can make a surprisingly big difference over the course of a fishing trip. Brown line performs especially well in lakes and ponds with muddy, clay, or peat bottoms, where the water often has a dark, tea-colored tint. If you fish these types of waters regularly, keeping at least one spool of brown line in your tackle box is a smart move. Sometimes it's the difference between catching fish and going home empty-handed. There's one rule that's worth remembering: no single line color works everywhere. The best choice always depends on matching the color of the water and the bottom where you're fishing. Unfortunately, many anglers overlook this. The same idea applies to black fishing line. At first glance, it seems far too visible, so many people dismiss it immediately. But in very muddy water or at greater depths where little light penetrates, black line doesn't stand out nearly as much. Against a dark bottom or heavy vegetation, it can blend in surprisingly well. On the other hand, on a bright, sunny day over a shallow sandy flat, black line can become much more noticeable. Like every other color, it has situations where it works, and situations where it doesn't. You may have also seen pink or purple fishing line in a tackle shop and assumed it was just clever marketing. Surprisingly, pink loses much of its brightness underwater, making it less noticeable than many anglers expect. It isn't a miracle solution, but it's certainly a practical option that's worth considering instead of standard clear monofilament. If you're skeptical, try a simple experiment at home. Fill a bucket with water, stir in a little dirt or clay until it becomes cloudy, then place several pieces of different colored fishing line into the water. Look down at them in natural daylight, and the results might completely change the way you choose fishing line for stained spring water. You'll quickly notice that clear monofilament begins reflecting light and stands out, while green, red, or brown lines blend much better into cloudy water. It's a simple experiment that takes only a few minutes, yet it can completely change the way you think about choosing fishing line. There's another important detail that doesn't get discussed very often. Fish don't see the underwater world the way humans do. They're far more sensitive to movement and contrast than to color itself. Any object that creates a strong contrast with its surroundings can immediately make a fish cautious. That's why the goal isn't to make your line completely invisible, that simply isn't possible. Instead, the objective is to reduce its contrast against the water as much as possible. That's the real secret behind selecting the right line color. In stained water, camouflage shades often outperform standard clear monofilament because they blend naturally into the environment rather than reflecting scattered light. This is especially important when fishing with a float. Since you're usually working in relatively shallow water with plenty of available light, fish can clearly see everything happening around the bait. In my experience, when targeting species like crappie, bluegill, or carp in stained water, green, brown, or even red monofilament often performs better than clear line. Don't worry if the line is slightly harder for you to see, your attention should be on the float, not the fishing line. With bottom fishing, the situation is a little different. The main line is usually farther away from the fish, so its color isn't nearly as critical. The leader, however, is a different story. It's the section closest to the hook, and it's the first thing a fish notices when inspecting your bait. A quality fluorocarbon leader or a thin leader that matches the color of the water can noticeably increase the number of bites. Even if your main line is brighter, a properly chosen leader helps keep the area around the bait far less noticeable. Many anglers underestimate this small detail, even though it often makes the difference between getting bites and going home empty-handed. Spinning gear presents another interesting situation. A bright braided main line is extremely useful because it makes it much easier to watch your line, control your lure, and detect subtle strikes. However, there's one critical detail that should never be overlooked. If you tie your lure directly to a bright braided line without a leader, a cautious predator may simply refuse to strike. That's why experienced bass and walleye anglers almost always use a long fluorocarbon leader. It gives you the best of both worlds. You can easily monitor your line and lure while keeping the presentation far more natural for the fish. A quality fluorocarbon leader also provides extra protection against sharp teeth, rocks, and zebra mussels, making it one of those small upgrades that's well worth the effort. You often hear people say, fish don't know the difference. But time on the water tells a different story. Fish are extremely good at noticing anything that looks out of place. An unusual reflection or a line that stands out too much can be enough to make them hesitate, especially larger and more cautious fish. That's why two anglers can fish side by side with the same bait, yet end up with completely different results. One keeps catching fish, while the other wonders why the bites never come. More often than many people realize, the difference isn't the bait, the weather, or even the location, it's something as simple as choosing the wrong fishing line. Think back to those frustrating days when nothing seemed to work. Maybe you switched baits, moved to different spots, or experimented with scents and presentations. But the solution may have been right in front of you the entire time. Sometimes, simply changing to a line color that better matches the water can dramatically improve your results. That doesn't mean you need to buy every color on the tackle shop shelf. For most lakes and rivers, having just 2 or 3 reliable options is more than enough. Dark green or olive is an excellent all-around choice that performs well in a wide variety of stained water conditions, and it's the color I'd recommend starting with. I also keep brown monofilament in my tackle box for lakes with dark, muddy, or peat-stained bottoms, along with a quality spool of fluorocarbon for leaders. Honestly, those few options cover almost every stained water situation I encounter. As you gain experience, you can always experiment with additional colors, but these proven choices provide a solid foundation. One final point that many anglers underestimate is confidence in their tackle. When you know your setup is well matched to the conditions, you fish with more patience and focus. You're less likely to panic after a few quiet minutes or constantly switch baits and locations. Surprisingly often, that calm, confident approach becomes one more advantage that helps put more fish in the boat. Let's wrap everything up with one simple takeaway. When you're fishing in stained or muddy water, don't focus on using the clearest line possible. Instead, choose a line color that blends naturally with the water and the bottom. In these conditions, camouflage matters far more than transparency. For most situations, dark green, olive, brown, and even red monofilament are excellent choices. On the other hand, bright white and fluorescent yellow lines tend to stand out too much in cloudy water, making them better suited for other applications. One of the biggest surprises for me was realizing that what many of us believed for years isn't always true. We were taught that clear fishing line is the least visible option, but in stained water it can actually become one of the easiest lines for fish to detect. Meanwhile, darker or red-colored lines often blend into the environment much more effectively. A simple change in line color can have a much bigger impact on your success than most anglers expect. That's why you sometimes see two anglers fishing side by side with nearly identical tackle and the same bait, yet getting completely different results. It isn't always luck. More often than not, small details, like choosing the right fishing line color, can make all the difference. I hope that after watching this video, you'll stop choosing line out of habit and start matching it to the conditions of the water you're fishing. Sometimes a small adjustment like that can produce more bites than an expensive bait, a new lure, or the latest piece of tackle. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more practical fishing tips and techniques tested on the water. Now I'd love to hear from you. What color fishing line do you use most often in stained or muddy water? Have you ever noticed your catch rate improve after switching line colors? Let everyone know in the comments. And don't forget to tell us what state you're fishing from. It's always great to see where everyone is watching from. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, tight lines.